Welcome back. Today is day 13 of this full stack events application. So in today's video, we are going to start looking at our backend, or the part that will interact with our database also, to be able to fetch the data that will be shown here to our users. So this is where our logic will be held, or where most of the logic will be done. And in here already you can see what we have been building, all these interfaces, but you can see here already replicated the same event or this dummy data, because right now we don't have the data from our database. And this is what we'll be doing now when we starting, or from now on, because now we are starting to look at our backend. So without much ado, if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and also like this video so that people may know that this channel. So let's get into our tutorial today. So now let's come back in our tutorial here, or in our code, and here you can see we have these 4 folders here that you can see here. And now this is where we are going to start now creating our backend in this API here, because remember also we'll be needing to have an admin dashboard. And in admin dashboard, this one I told you earlier that we are going to use a template. Also we are going to create background services, and background services is the one that will be responsible for sending things like emails, so and other things like notifying the users when they set reminder for a specific events. So let's get into our API where we are going to start creating our backend. I know this project might be long, but I wanted to make it as long, but it touches all the areas that are very necessary. So let's get into our API and start creating our application. So here you can see already I have this terminal here, or else you can come and look for terminal here in our VS Code. So you can do either, but I like to use this one here in our command prompt. So let's navigate into our API folder. So already we have navigated to our API folder here. So the next thing that I want to do is to initialize a node application, because remember we are going to use node in our backend. So to initialize that, I need to do npm and then dash or dash init, something of the sort is dot init, something of the sort, and then I accept all. That's why I use -y to accept all options. So let's hit enter and then see how our application will be generated. So here I can see we don't have that command, meaning there's something that I've done wrongly. So what I'll do, I think to initialize it doesn't need to have those double hyphens. So let me enter again and see if it will be generated, or our application will be started or initiated. So here you can see already we have created this package.json here, and this one file here, this is one that will help us to manage our packages, and it will help us also to install things like packages and manage them. So if we go back, and when you open again API, remember it was empty, but right now if you open, you'll see we have this package.json. So the other thing, in order for us to create our backend, we need to have a root file, or where our application will be starting. So I'll just add this file here, and I call this index.js, just something like that, index.js, like that. So this is where will be entry point of our backend application. So here, if you can see here, we don't have a lot of packages. Actually, we don't have packages that have been installed. So I want to show you something. So let's go back into our terminal here, and maybe let me clear it first of all. So I want to install packages, and to install packages that we need to in this application, we'll use npm and then I'll say install. And the first package that I want is Express. Express, because Node.js you can use with the Express framework. The other thing is that we need to have a mongoose. This will help us to connect with our database, our Mongo database, and also to make our work easier interacting with our database. So the other thing is .env also, and also the other thing that we need is calls, something like that. So I don't think we need to have any other packages right now. All these packages that you can see here are the ones that are very necessary. So the first package is Express, the other package is Mongoose, the other one is .env, and the other one is this one that is called Course. So let's install them, and while they are being installed, also we can go back here, and also you'll be seeing here packages being installed, and also you will be seeing them here. So let's see how packages are being installed. So I think this all these packages is no a package that is very large, and this is packages that we need in our application. Remember, packages are like code that are already being already code that already exists that we need to use. So we are installing other people's code in this scenario that will help us to do various tasks, because there's no need to reinvent the wheel. So that's what we mean by packages. So I think now that is okay. And if you come here right now in our JSON, this package.json, you can see the packages have been installed here. So right now we have all these packages. So the other thing, let's go back into our index.js here, and what we can do here is to start using our, or to start coding our backend application. So the first thing that I want is to import express package here, and to do that, here we will use require. Here you can use require, and then we give this require, and then we give the package which is express. This is how we import packages in express by default, but there is a way you can give configuration in order for you to use import. So I just say const. Another package that I'll import is mongoose, and this one is, will say require, and again this one is mongoose here. So the other package is let me say const, and then here we need to have .env here, and this one will say require, and then here the package that is .env, you can see here. And the other one, the last one here that we're going to import is calls, because calls is very important also, because we'll be making requests from another domain, and this can help us to at least grant access. So this is calls, just like that. So after that, now I think now it's okay. So the other thing that I want is to initialize our app, and to initialize our app we need to call a function called express. So I just say const, and then app is equals, or is equal to express, and this one is a function. So this one here is a function that we are requiring. So let's go and now start creating our, now first of all let me after all make a middleware. If you haven't taken a course for Node.js, I think this is the right time. You can brush on these areas so that you can learn a little bit about middleware. Although you can go with me through this project, and you will understand how things are being done. So here what I'll do, I require calls, and this is a middleware. This means that each and every time we are using this application, this line of code we run, or this middleware would be called. So the other thing that we need also to now do is to actually, let me do app and use another middleware here, and in here I can say express here. can use this express and then I can call JSON, because we'll be using data format for JSON. So don't worry if you haven't interacted with Node.js or you are not that familiar with Node.js. I'll go step by step and you'll be able to understand. So the other thing is that now we need to initialize our server. So I'll just say app.use or .reason, because this will be our server or our backend server. So here I need to have at least let's say we need to have at least a port that will be reasoning for our application. I'll give it to 8000 here, and then after that the next argument here will be a function or our anonymous function. So in here I'll say console.log, and in here I can say server is running on port 8000, just like that. So alternatively what we can do, because it is good to at least hide some of our things, like the port that our server is running, just to be secure. What we can do here, we can come here and configure.env, can say .env.config, something of the sort. And then again what we can do, if we are using .env here, .env file here, what we can do is that we can come here and create a file that is called .env, and this is where we are going to create all our, here is where we are going to create, we're going to keep all our secret files. So here I'll just say port as a variable, and then I'll give it to 8000, just like that. And again we're going to use, also we are going to give here, or we are going to actually make or save other secret things here. And in this case I have also remembered that now in here this is the right time, because there are things that we don't want to push to our GitHub, like this .env file, because it will be containing our secret file. This is where now we create a file that is called git ignore, and this is to tell Git that don't push this the files that you don't want to push to GitHub. So the first one is .env, of course, because it contains our secret things. So the other thing is node modules, something like that, because this is just a folder that contains all the packages, and using this package here that is called or this file that is called package.json, we can use to already install these packages or dependencies. And this is the only thing that whoever will be able to or want to install our application will only need this file here, and he or she can install the packages and have a node.modules folder here. And also this node.modules is a very big file, so we don't want to push it to our GitHub. So let's continue now. So here we have done, like we have come and already created this. So now, because we have created a variable that is called port in our .env file, we create a variable here called .port, and then we say 8000, just like that. And then now, no, actually it is not like this, sorry for that. We just say process, because this is how now we can be able to access things in our .env file. So .env here, and then the variable name that is port. And now from here, now I can come here and say port, just like that. And also here, because I want us to extrapolate so that we can be able to access the port number, so here I'll just add this $sign here, and this is how you do extrapolation. So that is port here. So from here now we can go back and then try and initialize our application. So save everything, and then here I can come and say nodemon index.js. If you haven't installed nodemon globally, you can install it the same way we installed the other packages. So here you will add nodemon here, just like that, and then install them. So but right now, because I don't want to install nodemon, because already I have nodemon globally, what I can do is that I initialize nodemon package. This will be able to watch our code as it changes, and then it will run our server, that is all our backend application. So let's say enter, and then let's see if we can be able to run our application. Yes, and you can see here server is running on port 8000, so meaning that it can be able to find the port number in our .env. But when we'll be pushing our code, it won't be able to we won't be pushing this .env. And if you are going to install this application, you will create your own .env, and then you will set the variables like port and other things that we are going to also to add in the future. So here, that's all that I wanted. So the other thing that we need to have here, we need to have models. So let's create another folder here called models, and this is where also we are going to actually add things like now the models for our database, because we are going to use MongoDB. So the other thing is routes. So here we are going to have routes here. This is where we are going to define our routes also. So I don't think we have other folders here unless we have midways, and I don't think we need to have midways. So that's all that I wanted to show you here. So this is it. So I think now this video have reached the minutes that I don't want to pass it. I don't want it to exceed these minutes. So let's see you in the next video. Kindly remember to subscribe and also turn on the notification bell and like this video so that it reach other people. So thank you. Have a good day.